Hi, welcome to the Pub Podcast. This is Steve Mudd. I'm here at Insight 2019. I keep wanting to say 2020 because hopefully we're almost at the end of the session. We've been talking to DevOps heroes here, and Dave Fox, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Dave, if we followed you around all day, what would we see? What is your role?
I'm an automation engineer on Ed Wang's team in NetApp IT. We're responsible for laying down the platform for Cloud One. Cloud One's our latest initiative to, in essence, accelerate application delivery and speed and consistency. So we're really big on automating all the things, making sure that we're stepping up our efficiency game, and making sure that we're able to deliver value to customers quickly.
So what are the types of things that you're automating?
So platform delivery, application delivery, delivering the application pipeline itself, responding to events within the infrastructure. So if we have a node that goes down, we don't want that to be a ticket necessarily where somebody has to, stop what they're doing and go manually push a button. Those types of things can be automated. So we're really focusing on that type of, stuff where we're reducing the amount of touch time, reducing the amount of manual effort, and just really trying to make the platform more resilient. And of course, we're testing out new capabilities in the area of application delivery, cluster backups, cloud insights, all sorts of stuff. We're all over the map.
So the buzzwords are the things I hear out there. People keep talking about Ansible and Trident. And,
yes.
For people who don't know Ansible and Trident, what are those things and how do you use them?
So we'll start with Ansible. That's the one we've been using the longest. Ansible is a configuration management tool, first and foremost. We started using Ansible in 2014 as a way to express desired state for our UNIX infrastructure. In IT, we're responsible for about 5,000 machines, 3,000 of which are Unix machines, mostly Linux, but there's some Solaris, some AIX in there. And we really used Ansible at that compute level to make the environment consistent. Again, reduce the touch time, reduce the number of tickets, and reduce the complexity, right? So with the NetApp modules now in Ansible, we can take what we've done with compute in terms of speed, efficiency, consistency, and also bring that to storage. So now we're able to consistently deliver storage in a very programmatic way that hopefully is foolproof, right? So that's our Ansible story. We've been using it a long time. We've had a lot of success with that. Trident is a little bit different. What Trident does is Trident is a dynamic volume provisioner for Kubernetes. In essence, when people deploy application stacks to Kubernetes, they deploy it as part of a manifest, and that manifest have requests for compute resources, network resources, and storage resources. What Trident does is it takes that request and manifests it in a new storage resource that is then presented to the application. And this allows the application to get all the things that it needs very quickly, so again, we can deliver value to customers just as quickly.
And so is Ansible then your primary tool then? You're using that?
I would say day in, day out, that's mostly what I'm working with. Again, a lot of the automated deployment work, the auto response work, elastic auto scale work, we do all that with the Ansible. Trident is truly Unix philosophy. It does one thing, it does it well, and that's deliver storage to Kubernetes and the applications on it.
So how do those technologies interact with the NetApp technologies?
So when we deploy Trident onto our OpenShift or Kubernetes clusters, we're essentially just configuring it to look at a back end. So here's our ONTAP storage or our SolidFire storage or our Cloud Volume storage, right? And once we make that configuration or put that back end configuration in place, that will then allow the applications teams, when they go and create those persistent volume claims, to request storage to get that storage provision, right? Ansible, again, with the CDOT modules that were released, I believe, in 2018, that allows us, from an IaaS perspective, because it's not an all Kubernetes world yet, to sort of kind of do the same thing. So while we're using Ansible to create the compute, to lay down the application, to set up all the networking, we can also deliver the storage with that as well, and all the properties of the storage, Do you need a snapshot policy? Does that need to be snap mirrored somewhere? That kind of thing.
So what are the typical types of benefits that you see when you roll these things out?
Speed and consistency, right? The problem of the fat finger. I mean, I've got pretty big fingers, right? It's on, you're typing in a net mask and you miss a digit. You're eliminating those types of problems, like just inconsistencies, really. When people do things manually, even if you've been doing it a while, even if you're really good at what you do, you're going to make mistakes. Machines don't make mistakes, right? And if they do, there's normally a caveat, and that's called a bug, and you fix it, and then that mistake doesn't happen again. So removing that human element from the equation allows us, again, to be more consistent with what we deliver. And so now we don't have mystery problems that take teams of people to dig into and debug and stuff like that. It's just, this is the way it's created. It's created like that every time. You take it to the bank.
So, I mean, there's a lot of societal fear right now of people being automated out of jobs. I mean, is that your focus, is to try to reduce headcount?
No. So, in a way, I've actually embraced it. I'd like to say that I come in every day and try to automate myself out of a job. The problem is that I keep on finding myself with automation jobs, right? so I understand that perspective just from a human perspective. Yeah, I mean, but realistically, if you embrace it and just think about what you could do to make yourself more efficient, you're going to find yourself picking up automation work, right? Because if you could do that, you're a commodity. So I wouldn't. If I were anybody, I wouldn't fear that.
How hard was it to learn Ansible?
Oh, really easy. So we were at a different life. Trying to solve this consistency and speed problem, and we tested a bunch of different solutions, right? And what we found was that with Ansible being among those things we're testing, is that while we're trying to spin up infrastructure and lay the groundwork for all the other tools in this proof of concept, with Ansible, we'd already passed that stage one, like, hey, I've done one little thing that's useful. So picking up Ansible is exceedingly easy. Most people could probably do something meaningful within the first day or two.
So it's a good career path right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So you can learn it fast, you can get stuff done fast, it's all consistent. I mean, yeah, it's a wonderful tool, and it's really enabled our IT department to, again, be more efficient, be more consistent.
So what was your career path? How did you get to where you are now, and where are you headed next?
As a sysadmin, that's where I started out. I've been in system administration since 2004. So building systems, carrying and feeding, right? The pets, right? Of course, these days, you don't have pets. They're more like livestock, right? We don't care about VMs, and so, with Ansible, we're able to just really move machines out. And so, from a career path perspective, where that's really taken me is instead of being a sysadmin, the logical step at scale is more, I guess, like an automation, DevOps engineer, whatever you want to call it. And moving forward, I see myself, sort of kind of expounding on that. There's still gaps to be filled. There's always going to be gaps to be filled. And so I think the automation space is where I'm going to be for a while.
So what would be the advice you would give to companies that are looking to adopt these technologies? Like our customers are certainly looking at Ansible and things. What would be the first thing they should do?
Start somewhere, right? Start with the analysis paralysis. Do something small, iterate on it. Claim your small success, what worked well, what worked different, and then just build little pieces at a time. That's what we did in NetApp IT. We started, I think, with a configure NTP client use case back in 2014, and it worked. It worked well. It's very consistent. Before that, there was a project where people were taking weeks to do it, and of course, it was very inconsistent. We were like, wow, we rolled this out like in a week. So like 4 days to develop it, 1 day to deliver it. And before that, it was taking many weeks worth of many people's time to do the same thing. But because we started with that one little use case, we saw what it could do for us, we decided to expound on it, and it sort of kind of grew from there. So definitely that'd be the advice I give people. Start small, start somewhere, and just inch the ball forward.
And you can see benefits from day one.
Absolutely.
Dave, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Yes, my pleasure.